This week's episode of Strength Stories covers Aneta Florczyk, the only four-time winner of World's Strongest Woman. You're probably expecting me to get right to the ice dancing and frying pans, but my history of sexual incompetence has taught me that rushing in will only lead to premature disappointment. Before we can get to her feats of strength, we need to address her holy heritage. Aneta's story begins over 500 years before her birth, when a bunch of sweaty, sword-slurping Catholics stopped to rinse their loins in the river Nogat. It's unclear whether they were intercepted by saints or Satan, but something drove them to hunker down with the intent of sheltering pilgrims from heathens. The Catholics in question were the Knights of the Teutonic Order, a sect of warrior monks who were basically starving space marines. They threw up Ordensburg-Marienburg as their Dracula-worthy fortress, making the classic mistake of building something that looks way too fucking cool. The castle's pristine Gothic architecture would prompt King Casimir IV to take his army and forcibly invoke eminent domain in the final hours of the 13 Years' War. The village of Malbork was cobbled together around it. Aneta Florczyk was born there a hair over 5 centuries later. She inherited her ancestors' holy fervor and reapplied it to the pursuit of strength. At 16, an age when most young ladies are posting sestinas on Tumblr or getting groomed in online chat rooms by middle-aged pizza delivery drivers, Florczyk was out benching hockey players and starting linemen. She won several Polish titles and took the European Championships at the age of 18, becoming the first Polish woman to total over 500 kilograms. Her quick and consistent success rubbed somebody as wrong as a nameless sympathizing young life leader at a weekend retreat. In a development inevitable in the second act of any sports movie, Aneta was banned from the national team. The ruling would later be proven entirely unfounded and overturned, but Aneta wasn't one to twiddle her thumbs and let them desensitize to hook grip while the jury was deliberating. In the meantime, she transitioned into Olympic weightlifting, winning a junior national championship and tying for the 2002 senior title. That same year, she started fooling around with strongman implements. You can probably guess how that went. She took second in the 2003 Scandinavian Championships and won the Built Solid show in Ohio. Her fourth-place showing at Europe's Strongest earned her an invite to that year's World's Strongest Woman. In the Zambian Swelter, Aneta faced off against perpetual podium finisher Heini Kuvenimi and the Swede Anna Rosen. Kuvenimi, Rosen, and the Brit Jackie Young had all finished ahead of Florczyk at Europe's Strongest. Heine and Anna took the top 2 spots in the tire flip, with Aneta securing third. Florczyk won the frame deadlift and log press, giving her a 2-point lead in the overall standings. The fourth event was the loading race, where athletes had to shove heavy boxes onto barrels decorated like a jumper on clearance from Osh Bagosh. Rosen won the event, moving her a half-point behind Florczyk in the overall standings. The lever squat was the next implement to make a masochistic appearance. After AMRAPs on deadlift and log press and a loading medley, putting a bar on your back is tantamount to volunteering to be sawed in half by an apprentice magician with late-stage Parkinson's disease. But Florczyk had a brace strong enough to break the teeth off a bandsaw. The 21-year-old Pole stepped up when it counted, grinding out 22 tooth-grating reps to Rosen's 16. She took second in the yoke and won the final farmer's walk to secure a 5-point victory. World's Strongest Woman wasn't contested in 2004, depriving Florczyk of the chance to defend her title. In 2005, the event was reinstated in Northern Ireland. Florczyk won over veteran Jill Mills and local favorite Gemma Taylor-Magnuson. 2006 saw Florczyk competing on her home turf. In the Polish village of Opalenica, she beat out her old rival Rosen. This third win made her the most decorated strong woman of all time, surpassing Jill Mills' back-to-back world titles. The event was off again in 2007, Florczyk used the year to rack up some arm wrestling wins and roll frying pans into burritos on Japanese television. She set and reset the Guinness World Record for this feat, rolling 5 frying pans in 1 minute and double-fistedly ruining the reputation of a kitchenware manufacturer who I'm not going to mention because I'm fucking tactful, you imbeciles. The 2008 installment of World's Strongest moved even closer to Florczyk's birthplace, following the banks of the Vistula River into eastern Pomerania. In the town of Chu, the powerful Pole didn't disappoint, storming to a dominant 10.5-point victory. Her countryman Mariusz Pudzianowski took the men's title. Now I know you black-pilled Johnny One-Plates have been licking the Dorito dust off your goatees, waiting for me to give you some fanfic about the Polish Olympic Committee trapping Mariusz and Aneta in a bunker decorated like a boudoir, and forcing them to produce freakishly strong offspring. You're expecting an enemies to lovers plot arc. You want to hear about Mariusz backspotting Aneta while she fails a back squat. You're waiting with bated breath for the part where either one takes the other into their freakishly pumped arms and consummates months of grunts and significant eye contact. You want to hear about the thrusting power and Kegel strength that are the inevitable result of loading and lifting exceptionally heavy things. You all got to this point because More Plates, More Dates told you that Pornhub quarters your testosterone. All you freaks should jerk off and touch grass, but not simultaneously. These days, Aneta is a national B+ lister. She took the bronze medal in the second Polish edition of Dancing on Ice. When she's not doing a sharp-footed tango to Alicia Keys, you can find her flag-bearing for the war on carbs. She's leveraged her study of dietetics and her athletic pedigree to build a nutritional consultation business. Her approach foregrounds health over performance. While I'm disappointed to hear that she's bitten into keto dogma, keep in mind that she was born not long after the dissolution of the Soviet Union in a town founded by the Teutonic Order, a potent recipe for a predisposition to dogma. In spite of the suppressed thyroid that inevitably results from guttered glycogen stores, Aneta is still overhead pressing Polish men clad in Jankos. At 42, she's strong enough to make most gym-going males feel the urge to massage their fragile masculinity by coughing the word steroids. If you really feel that steroids are the only thing keeping you from outlifting a 5'5" lady running off of ketones, testosterone is dirt cheap and incredibly easy to acquire. Why don't you start pinning and see whether that solves your deep-seated sense of inadequacy? I'd love to hear your results in the comments. Until next time, remember that every Instagram quote superimposed over David Goggins is really a watered-down plagiarism of Miyamoto Musashi. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to stay notified.